Hello everybody, I'm the Fruit Collector, and welcome to another One Piece card game. Today, we're going to be covering up all my information on what I think would be good for the One Piece Set 3 pre-release. I have a bunch of tabs set up, but I want to preface something real quick. I'm not going to go over all the cards I think would be good, because there's a lot of really great cards in this set, and I will just be here basically covering most of the entire set. If I wanted to talk about every card I think would be good, but we just don't know how your pulls are going to go, so it's kind of hard to say what will be super good. Alright, starting off with cards that I think will be kind of situational, but depending on how specifically you pull, might be pretty useful. First five here, I have all of your searchers for the various colors and all that. I believe, blue and, yeah, just blue didn't get a searcher for their archetype, in this. But, between these five right here, they all search different archetypes that are pulled inside the packs, and I think could be really useful if you pull a lot of that archetype, just out of just genuine usefulness. But I also don't know how legitimate their use would actually really be, all in all. So yeah, these are definitely something to consider if you pull a lot of one archetype, but yet again, I really don't know how good it will be. Next up, when we talk about specifics here, this buggy card does search red event cards, and because of the leader ace that is in this, there is a lot of good event cards. This one here needs ace as the leader, but if you pull ace as a leader, this would be super useful. It's really high cost, but it does a lot of it's a really good effect. This one needs a Whitebeard pirate leader, so still kind of situational. This one's super good. Low cost, but you trash one event from your hand, so that'll be super situation as well. I think it's not the greatest you could do, but it's definitely something to look forward to if you pull these kind of cards. But this, this has a lot of power negation and all that, so that's pretty cool. Here's the parallel Fire Fist. You have Fiery Doll, which is a 2-cost, just leader gains plus 4,000 power. That's super useful. It's turning 2 down cards into 4,000 power. Plus the trigger effect is super good. And we have the stage here, which is really good if you pull ace as well. Yeah. Just something to look, if you get a lot of event cards you can use along with ace. Maybe play this buggy. It's a 1-cost 3,000 power too, so it's also kind of useful in that regard. Next up we have Krieg here, a green card that costs 6 power 7,000. Its effect reads, on play, you may trash 1 card from your hand, KO up to 2 of your opponent's rested character that cost 4 or less. Don times 1, you have 1 card equipped. This character gains double attack, which means it does 2 damage. That can be really useful. Not only can you KO 2 characters on play, but double attack I feel would be really useful as well, because I feel these pre-release matches are going to be kind of slow and unpredictable, so something like this could be really useful, especially because the blockers are all less 4 or less cost, so that'll be really useful. Next up we have Buggy here, a 3-cost with a power of 5,000, but his effect reads, he cannot be KO'd in battle by slash attribute cards, which could be really useful, just making him just an attacker, but especially if especially when slash is something that really isn't paid attention to all that often. So that could be really cool. Next up we have Deathly Poison Gas Bomb MH5, a green event card that says main rest up to your opponent's character's cost of 2 or less. That just gets rid of blockers. Up to 2, so you can only, if there's only 1, you can do that too. But a trigger effect is also super powerful as well. Next up, we have Yosaku and Johnny. If you watched my last video about the blockers and leaders for the pre-release, you'll know that Yosaku and Johnny, not Yosaku and Johnny, Jesus, there was a card I talked about called Carne, which was a 3-cost 3k blocker that was blue, but its effect reads that if you have only 20 cards or less in your deck, he gets a plus 3,000 power in your opponent's turn. In which, with the pre-release cards, you're building a 40-card deck only, which means you are 10 cards closer to getting to that 20-card threshold than you normally would be. So yeah, keep that in mind. That'll be really useful. This is just it would just be a 1-drop 5,000 power card. Next up, we have Sanji's Peel Off. Super basic card here. 3 cost, main draw 2, and in a format where you might need very specific cards in your hand, this could be super super useful. And just drawing 2, and then the trigger is also super powerful. Where you just activate your main effect to draw 2 cards. Next up, we have Gum Gum Jet Gatling. It's a purple event card. The cost of 0. It's a counter. You may trash 1 card from your hand, so kind of cheap. Up to one of your leader or character cards gains plus 3,000 power during this battle. And the trigger is add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set as active. So even if you just get this as a trigger card, that gives you a +1 on Dawn advantage, which is super super useful. On Virgo here is a cost 5,000 power, the counter of 2,000. So not only is 2,000 counter super useful, but its effect reads me as 1 Dawn card equipped. This character cannot be KO'd in battle, which is super super strong. Next up, we have Charlotte Cracker, which is a yellow card that costs a 4 power of 5,000, counter of 1,000. His effect reads if he has 1 Dawn card equipped, if you have less life cards than your opponent, which could be very well possible, this character gains double attack and plus 1,000 power. So he'd be up to 7k and do double attack, which means your leader would, your opponent's leader, if it wasn't like Whitebeard or something like that, would have to sacrifice at least 3,000 counter every time he attacks, which would be super super cool, especially considering how low cost he is for such a powerful effect. And his trigger is just trashing one from your hand and play this card, which is also extremely, extremely super good. Then next up we have Ecoke Sovereignty, which is a yellow event card, cost of 2. Counter, up to one of your leader character cards gains plus 5,000 power during this battle. Trigger, you may trash 2 cards from your hand, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Which is pretty cool. It refreshes your life with a trigger effect, and is just pretty like low cost, high effect counter card. And next up here we have 2 cards in not Thatch, sorry, Speed Jill and Namul. Uh, Speed Jill is a 4 cost 6,000 power, 1,000 counter, just like vanilla card, and a 3 cost 5,000 power 1,000 counter normal card, which are going to be very very useful and just like super generically just played. I just just as like early preface, this is going to be played a lot. Things like this. So yeah, just be ready to counter that kind of stuff, and like don't just discount these cards because they don't have an effect. They are very powerful in their own right, especially being 4 cost 6k power. That's a like what turn 2 if you're going second. No turn 2 if you're going second. Turn 3 if you're going first. Just a 6k. So every time he attacks, your opponent has to sacrifice at least 2k counter, or you just do damage. So definitely don't like disregard these kind of things. But yeah, there's a lot of really good cards in this entire thing. I didn't even like mention Blackbeard. If you draw a lot of red cards when attacking, you may trash 1 red card with 4,000 or more power and draw 1 card, and then this character gains plus 1,000 power during this battle, which is super good. Like there's so many just like astoundingly just good cards. This activate main once per turn, gave up to 1 Resident Dawn card to your leader, one of your characters. This is just Nami from the first set. For the Whitebeard Pirate set. So super super good. Definitely a lot of cards. Like you don't want to disregard a lot of these. Just make sure you're reading all your cards and considering each and every one of them because they're all pretty useful. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Share that with everyone else you think would like it. Check out my other videos. I had one video I posted previous. I think I'll put in the description for this video. Talking about the leaders and the blockers for the pre-release. And yeah, just check things out. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.